watchboard with Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay. All right, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Old School Gunner. I'm absolutely delighted, guys, to welcome back another long-suffering gooner, Warren from Warren's Team Talk, guys. We have a lot to talk about, guys, and when I say we have a lot to talk about, I mean we have a lot to talk about. Some more than others. He's that way. Some more than others have a lot to talk about. I'm going to point at him there. Guys, hit up our channels at the start. Like I said, I would like to welcome everybody along to my Old School Gunner Arsenal FC live stream, guys. Episode 3. Once again, Warren has been good enough to join me. I think he couldn't keep away, to be honest. He's got a lot to get off his chest. This is going to get heated, guys. There's going to be no prisoners taken. There's going to be no prisoners of war. It's just going to be pure mayhem. Wait till we do our team ratings, our players rating at the end. I don't think anybody got more than a 1. Anyway, as you know, guys, I'm going to pick it up there. Check out Warren on his channel, guys. It's Warren's Team Talk. He was very in-depth vlogs, very in-depth vlogs. So check that out. That channel, guys, Warren's Team Talk. Do yourselves a favor. He puts an effort into his channel, guys. And when somebody puts in work, they have my respect. And that goes for everybody. You put in work, you can call me a friend. All right. We have the same team in common, guys. Of course, like my channel, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Sorry I'm not a bit as energetic as I normally would. It was very hot earlier today, and I'm feeling it, guys. But I'm alive. All right. Let's just get straight into it, guys. Without further ado, as you know, guys, we lost yesterday at home to Chelsea. The protest was one thing, guys. We can touch on that later. But first of all, let's get into the whole game. We lost 0, guys. Game so far, 2 losses. In the league, guys. We're in 19th position. Now think about that. We haven't even scored a single goal. We haven't even looked like scoring. The defenders have done more than forwards. In fairness to them, our defenders have had a better chance. I'm just going to hand it over to Warren, guys. First of all, Warren, I'm going to ask you, man. I mean, where do I start? I mean, what about yesterday? What about Arsenal? What about Arteta? I mean, you're an experienced fan, Warren. You're an experienced fan. You've seen a lot in your life, much more than me and most of the viewers out there. How do you see things at the club? I mean, what's going on? Take it away, man.
Yeah, I just think it's an absolute shambles. It is. It's a shambles. There's no area of the pitch where it looks stable. The manager looks out of his depth. I've heard a lot of people in the last 24 hours or so saying things like, "Oh, you know, well, there's a lot of players that are injured, or all this carry on and whatnot," which is what Arteta was saying. And we're supposed to be a big club, right? So therefore, when you go into a season, you're supposed to have a big enough squad of players to cope with a level of injuries.
Any setbacks? Yeah.
If you suffer a few injuries, that you've got people who can come in and do a job. Yes, they won't come in and do as good a job as your regular starting 11, but they'll still be able to do a sufficient enough job for you to be challenging. Now,
competitive, yeah.
Yeah. Now, but the problem is, we haven't got that, and the team. It just looks like it. To me, it looks like it lacks direction. It looks like the manager looks out of his depth and clueless about how to put it right. And I just sit here wondering where we're going to score a goal from.
No, it's.
Do you know what I mean? Because every single part of the team looks a mess.
It's misfiring, yeah. Every line has problems.
Yeah.
And in fairness, I'm just going to touch on there. In fairness to Burnley, he has got unbelievable stick through the preseason and in the first game against Brentford. He saved us guys yesterday. He saved us from a mauling. The save against Lukaku from the header, point blank, guys. Incredible. Lukaku buried it, guys. He put it right where you want it. What a save. Respect to my man Leno. He saved us, guys. You have to give the player credit. He saved us, guys. The amount of abuse he's been getting, respect to my man Bernd Leno. So sorry about that, Warren. Continue.
No, you're absolutely right. Because I was just about to touch on that. I was going to say.
He saved us.
Yeah, it shows you a lot when you have to say that your goalkeeper's your best player.
Yeah.
In the game, he was our best player, and that tells you what happened.
Yeah. There was no back four. There was no back four in front of the man. He was exposed time and again, and he was brilliant.
Yeah.
The save from Havertz. The save from Havertz, one-on-one, man. He didn't go down. He didn't commit. He stayed on his feet until he got the block. Brilliant save. Brilliant. For the 2 goals, man, he was so exposed. I mean, you could have driven a truck through there for the Reece James one. Man, the space that Reece James had when he was running in.
It was crazy. I was sitting there and I was shouting. I was watching the game on my phone. I was watching it on a stream. And I was shouting at my phone, how many more positions does Kieran Tierney have to cover? Yeah, he didn't have a great game, but he was having to cover the left centre-back. He was having to cover the midfield and his own position. He's not Superman. He can't cover 3 bloody positions.
He got sucked in for the goal, yeah. He got sucked into the centre. There was a free man wide, and once the ball went wide, guys, he just moved on to the ball, smashed it to the corner.
Yeah.
It was easy for Chelsea. In my opinion, I agree 100% what you said about Tierney there. He's a brilliant player. But in my opinion, Chelsea took the foot off the gas when they went up. 35 minutes played, 2-0 up, Warren. You know yourself, man, this is professional football. They went 2-0 up, 35 minutes played. They're already thinking of the next game. There's no need to exert themselves too much. Think of the next game. They already had it in the bag, man. They had us. If they kept going like they were going, they would have steamrolled us. 35 minutes, 2-0 up. They sat back, and then they said, all right, let's see what you got. They only went up to second gear, man. They were in second. They didn't go up to fifth. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because the thing is, what you need to remember is that they're playing Liverpool next.
Yeah. They need a bit of gas.
So they probably thought, right, we'll get 2-0 up, and then we'll just hold them at bay. Yeah. And if we need to step up again and get another one, we will do.
They have enough time yet to bury us.
Energy, you know?
Yeah, they just sat back, man. They sat back at 2-0 and they played counter, but they played like opportunistic. If they need to go for the throat, if they need to go for the kill, man, they would have absolutely blown us off the park. Arteta cannot use the excuses of the players that weren't present. It was 11 against 11 out there. And Romelu Lukaku, I mean, he's not an unknown quantity, guys. Everyone knows good he.
The thing is, right, that comment about, we had a lot of players out injured. We had 9 people injured, whatever. I just can't believe how stupid he is by saying that. Man. No, you know why? It's because he has just spent £129 million on players for this squad, right? 80 to 90% of them are backup players.
Yeah.
So what does that say about what he's done with the players that he's brought in who are backup players for this squad? Because they would have been the ones that were, if he's complaining because 9 or so players were out injured, it doesn't say a lot about the players that he's brought in, does it?
No. They they definitely I mean, they're not, it's not Rude Hull and Marco. We got James Madison and he's got this open to him. You know, like you say, a lot of them are back players. We spent a lot, and we were already behind our rivals in the Premier League before that. Now we spent more than them, but we're in the relegation zone. People actually know what's going on out there. The performance yesterday, it doesn't matter if we were playing Chelsea or Brentford. The performance was equally as bad in the Brentford game. Chelsea had mercy on us. They could have wiped the floor with us if they wanted to. Yeah. Poor Burnt Leno. Like I said, not my man Leno, man. Yeah. He got exposed about 15 times. Man.
They had mercy on us because it suited them to do so.
They have the huge
against Liverpool next week. Huh? So they were resting up for that game against Liverpool to conserve energy, make sure they don't get any injuries, make sure that they're, ready to go for that game. Because it's going to be a hard game. Excuse me. Sorry. It's going to be a really hard game for them. And, I had a lot of people as well yesterday saying that we played really well in the second half. I didn't think so. I thought we were absolutely shocking.
Warren, they let us have the ball, Warren. They let us play. They knew we couldn't hurt them, man. They knew we couldn't hurt them. They let us have the ball.
What did we do with the ball when we had it?
Saka tried. He tried. But
in the second half.
I don't know what's going on with Martinelli. I think now we can see he's like an impact sub. When he starts, man, and like Arteta, okay, yesterday not, but normally Arteta chooses El Neni. Lucas Torreira, has been begging to get into the team, begging to play. Arteta would play El Neni. You're telling me El Neni is better than Arteta or is better than Torreira? Absolutely not, man. Torreira is a pit bull in the midfield.
I know. I would have played him and Lokonga. Torreira and Lokonga.
Yeah, he's begging to get a game. He wants to play. He's up for it. And he has high energy, positive aggression. Man. Shaq before the game. Even the big team talk. El Capitan. He thought he was the man. You know what I mean? In the huddle before the game. What did he do in the match?
Nothing.
All his talk before the game, man. G'ing up the players, giving it the big one. In the game, he did nothing. He was chasing shadows out there. So, what is that like? But he's not the only one. Arteta's the man for me, man. Arteta's the man for me. God almighty, man. And he can't turn it around at halftime. He can't make the subs at halftime to turn the game around because we weren't having an impact. I'd rather lose 9-0 than 2-0 like that. At least we should have tried, made an impact. He should have made changes. They had us. They took the lead, man, with such ease. It was just like a training session for them. And Arteta couldn't change around the course of the game. Just like against Brentford, he couldn't stop the flood. He couldn't stop it. And now again, he couldn't. I only want us to get one goal, Warren. Stick the ball in the net, man. It doesn't have to be pretty. Put them under pressure. Our defenders looked more likely to score than our midfield and our forwards. The header from Chambers, I think.
The thing is, I was watching that, and I was looking at Pablo Mari, right?
Oh, my God.
Up until that game yesterday, I thought he was a fairly competent defender. And I thought, yeah, okay, you know, he can be in the squad. He's a good squad player to have in the defence. But, mate, he was awful. He got absolutely butchered by Lukaku.
What? Why didn't he come up the ball a few times? Like, why didn't he attack the ball? He wasn't attacking the ball when it was coming in. He let Lukaku gain possession. Once Lukaku gets turned, you're screwed. If he turns on the ball, and there was runners.
He tried to get too tight to Lukaku. So
There was runners
he
coming off him.
really tight to him. As soon as he did that, Lukaku just spun him all the time.
Yeah, actually, he was on his back. Yeah, he was close.
And he was away.
Mm.
You know.
Well, he should have kept the yard when Lukaku got possession, or he should have went full in. And why didn't he try to come out before him and get the ball? Win it before Lukaku. Beat him to the ball. Okay, Lukaku is an incredibly physical opponent. And he's strong, and he's quick, and he's clever. But even if you go out there and you roll in, or he falls you, both of them end up on the ground. Try to win it before he get it. Try to win it before he can get it. Tony asked it so many times, and he got a free out. Actually, Adams against Shearer back in the day. Adams against Shearer. Adams knew if Shearer got the ball, he was in trouble. He went out before him, and he went 50-50 in into the shoulder with him. They both went to the ground. Adams got the call. He got the call. He got the free out. You know what I mean? Go out and try to win it in front of him. Why was he behind him the whole time, man? It wasn't working. He should have pushed out. Try to win the ball before he can get it. Keep it away from him.
All of them were terrible. Rob Holding. I never want to see that man wearing an Arsenal shirt again.
He was holding with the header. Holding's header. Oh, man.
I mean, he had that header, and it was a fairly good header, but...
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, he's not good enough to play for Arsenal. He ain't. And, you know, I just hope that when that Ben White character comes back in the team, if he's up to it, he's up to the job. I'm not convinced he will be. But if he is, then we need to move that character on. You know, because he's not good enough, mate. And then there's a lot of them who are in that boat.
And why didn't we start with Aubameyang? I thought he was out with COVID. Next minute he comes on as a sub. I wasn't aware that he was available. We should have started with him. Regardless, because Martinelli, in respects to Gabriel Martinelli, I like the guy. He doesn't have the experience to play full forward against Chelsea. He doesn't have that technical nous. Their back four is animal strong. Their back four is a monster. To beat their back four, man, you've got to have it all going on. At least Aubameyang will take a touch and actually try to get goal side of them. You know what I mean?
But the
Martinelli
thing is,
doesn't have that experience, man.
About Aubameyang, Martinelli, whoever.
You should have started with Aubameyang.
Yeah, whoever you play up front, you've got to have some sort of plan, tactical plan about how you're going to break down the opposition. I don't think we'd have.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have mattered who we played up front. We could have had Ronaldo and Messi playing up front, and we wouldn't have got a sniff. The two of them wouldn't have had a sniff. They wouldn't, because we've just got no idea about how to make tactically about how we're going to attack teams. So I don't think he knows what to do. He's just absolutely clueless. It really is massively worrying about what this team is doing and how it's performing. And I heard this morning a story saying that Aubameyang shouldn't have really started him because he wasn't well enough, but they had to play him. And it's the same with Kolasinac. The only reason that he was on the bench was because they had no other option. I'm sorry, but I would have recruited a kid from the youth team, and you know, because you can't be playing players that are about to go out the door. Apparently, they're cancelling his contract, and he's on the verge of joining his mate Mesut Ozil.
Okay, you've got I said that tells you what, like, the opposition yesterday, Chelsea, their substitution, it tells you all about it. They took off Kovacic and they brought on N'Golo Kante. Warren. If they needed to step it up a gear, man, if it was 2-2, 10 minutes to go, I think they would have ran out 4-2, 5-2 winners against us.
Yeah,
they would have put it to bed. They would have put it to bed, man.
If we got back in the game, let's say Rob Holding had scored that header, yeah, I can guarantee you that Chelsea would have gone and then got another 2 goals.
They would have buried us.
Yeah, they was like 3-4-1, right?
Yeah.
And
Lukaku playing himself.
The thing is, I've also heard loads of stories about how the club has been decimated by COVID, right? So what I want to know is why the club hasn't done more to get these games cancelled, if that's the case. You know, why are they allowing the FA or whoever it is to force us to play these games when like half the bloody squad is out injured or ill with COVID? It just don't make any bloody sense to me. Because you've seen like, down the course of last season and in other leagues, there's a number of games that have been cancelled because of COVID. So Arsenal should have done that. If he's that concerned about these players that are backup players, why? And the reason they're not available is because of COVID. Then why are we playing the game? You know, I just don't understand. It don't make any sense to me. But looks like old Skool's disappeared. And so the starts of the season, we've had 2 games, we've had 2 defeats, no goals, no points. So it is now officially our worst start since 1913, which was the year we moved into Highbury. I've got a feeling as well that if we lose on we play West Brom? We play West Brom in the week. If we lose that game, which is highly possible, given the fact that West Brom are playing really well at the moment, and then we go to Man City next, I think it's on Saturday morning, we're playing them at the Etihad, and we lose that game as well, because we haven't really got a good track record playing on the Saturday morning, have we? Let's be honest. If we get smashed up in that game, like we have done in the past, I remember a few years ago, we went up there and got done 6-3. So if something like that happens, then good God, it's going to be an absolute disaster for Mikel Arteta, that's for sure. So what do we do to put this right? That's the big question. What can the club do to put it right? So, firstly, he's back. He's back.
Sorry, guys. I had to go to the bathroom.
Right.
The gentlemen's club. I've been drinking too much water. Sorry about that.
Right.
Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Warren, for.
No, it's all right. I was holding the fort and having a little chat.
You were holding the fort. You were holding it better than Arteta, in fairness.
Yeah.
That performance yesterday. Man.
It's just like, honestly, I don't understand.
Too long.
Hello, mate? You there, buddy?
What players are going to be back fit? Who's going to play for the team? I honestly don't think that makes much of a difference. I know Warren will agree with me, because the way Arteta sets up the team, it doesn't matter who's playing, guys. Like he said, even if Aubameyang played yesterday from the start, we need to have the tactics right to get in amongst them. We never challenged them. We never really put them to the pin of their shirts. You know what I mean? We never pinned them down, guys. They weren't under any kind of pressure where they would make a mistake. If they make a mistake, we could have caught them on the hop maybe. Quick ball in, and let's smother them. They let us play with the ball after they were 2-0 up. They let us have a little bit of possession. In the second half, they just Tuchel told them, I'm sure, there's going to be a 10 or 15-minute response, guys. Weather that, and once you weather that, it's plain sailing. And that's the way it worked out. I mean, set pieces, open play. Like I said, respect to my man Burnley, and respect to Emile Smith-Rowe. Emile Smith-Rowe didn't stop trying all game. Everything he had, guys, everything he had, he left it out there. There was nothing left when he came off the field, guys. He did everything he could. But when you have 4 incredible defenders at the back, everything he tried, guys, they had an answer for it. They're faster, they're stronger, and they're agile. And they have guys on the wings that they can feed the ball out to quick. I mean, Reece James, I don't want to sound ignorant, but I didn't realize he was such a good player. He showed me yesterday a thing or two. Chelsea just have these guys in the team. Every player that Chelsea have is a good player. I don't think they have one bad player. Whether it's in the reserves, whether it's on the subs bench, in training, they don't get bad players, guys. As soon as a guy is past his sell-by date, with respects to David Luiz, with absolutely no respect to Willian, they move them on. You know what I mean? I don't think they have bad player. Shocking is what I mean. It was pedestrian. Movement off the ball. Lukaku was the target, but the runs that were coming off Lukaku, he had options.
The thing is, mate, we didn't even make it difficult for them. That's the annoying thing. We didn't press them. You know, I was expecting us to hunt them down and harass them all over the pitch.
Get in amongst them now, get physical.
Yeah, exactly. But we didn't do anything. We didn't do any of that. We just stood off them, allowed them to play, and they absolutely battered us.
Lukaku had a lot of time. Okay, good players always seem to have a lot of time. Bergkamp, he always seemed to have time on the ball. Henry, he always seemed to have time on the ball. Make that Lukaku, it was his first game for Chelsea, guys. I know he's very good. I know he's been playing top level football in Italy the last couple of years, highest level. They won the Serie A Inter Milan, but it was his first game settling into a new team, guys. In a couple of weeks, he's going to be twice that. To be honest, he's going to really find his rhythm in the team. It was his first game. He's had a couple of training sessions in the team. Okay, quality is quality. He's quality. But he's not settled in completely yet. He's not. It was easy for him. It was a walk in the park. It's a side-footed finish from Reece James's cross. The cross in that beat Leno. Of course, the defenders were all at sea. And the side-footed finish. It was easy for him, guys. Easy.
It was easy work.
It won't be as easy as Liverpool, I can tell you that. It won't be as easy against Liverpool. They're going to put Van Dijk on him, and the two of them are going to have a battle royal. There's going to be blood, there's going to be bones broken, and there's going to be hearts and spirits crushed. How'd you like that? But guys, we got absolutely taken to the cleaners yesterday. And even if we had put in a good performance, we wouldn't have won. The damage was done in the opening game. You start as you mean to go on. We should have taken that game, the first match, by the scruff of the neck, and we should have matched Brentford. We should have put it all on the line. Bodies, everything we have. We should have got stuck in. We should have fought them for every inch. They rolled us over. Start as you mean to go on. The pre-season, the alarm bells are ringing. The first game of the season, what is the difference between us and Liverpool? What is the difference between us and Chelsea? It's not just quality, guys. It's not just quality. The man in charge, like Warren alluded to at the start of the program, guys, like Warren mentioned, he's inept in every way imaginable. People tell you, trust the process. Where are these people now? Hiding in the shadows somewhere. But the fools will come out later on in a couple of games later. If we win a game, they'll all come out of the shadows. They'll come out from underneath the rocks they're hiding under. Where are they now? These fans that say trust the process. Is that the process? Was that part of the plan yesterday? Was that part of the plan?
So
Never mind yesterday.
what is this process that they keep banging on about? Because every time I ask anyone, right, what is this process that I'm supposed to be trusting? No one can ever tell me what it is. So, you know, I'm not going to trust something that I don't know what it is. You know, it could be anything. You know, and I saw this yesterday. I think I might have sent it to you, or I've certainly put it on the WhatsApp group. Was that thing about gaslighting?
Oh yeah, I read it. I read it.
And it's true. That is what he's doing. He's trying to make us
doubt ourselves,
doubt our own sanity to
doubt our opinions,
take the attention away from him.
Yeah,
he's 100%. He honestly, the man, he's dangerous. He really is dangerous.
Yeah, he's trying to make us doubt our own belief. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's shocking. It really is. They need to get rid of him as soon as possible.
The problem is he has the backing of Stan Kroenke now. Stan Kroenke okayed 129 million to be sold. He has the backing of Stan Kroenke. I don't know if you watched Troops Back Again podcast yesterday with Sa. I don't know if you ever watched that. Troops is back in London, of course, so they were doing it. They were zooming. You know what I mean? Or they just did a normal live stream, London to New York. But I know that you watched that. The points Troops made, it was an 8-minute video. My God, I mean, if I saw Troops on the street, I know he can be a bit rough around the edges, but I'd shake his hand because the points he made were bang on. So I asked him at the end, what is the next step? Where do Arsenal go from here? And you know what he said, Warren? Guess what he said? Arteta out. It has to be. We need to get rid of him now, today. He said, this was tonight, yeah. He said, I will be hoping when I look at Sky Sports this morning, he hopes to see it in the yellow box at the bottom of the screen, Arsenal sack Arteta.
Yeah, I saw that bit. Because I saw his like after match summary thing that he did. And I saw his fan cam. And he was really like going in on him, and everything he said was 100% true. And you know, I saw Dan Potts talking, and I saw Lee Judges talking, and they all were talking 100% facts and truth about the manager. He has got to go, mate. There's no two ways about it. You know, we can't be having all these excuses all the time. Well, you know, there's all these players out injured or they're ill or this and that. No, you've just spent £130 million on players. And all the players that you bought, virtually all of them, are backup players. So how come we're in a position where we haven't got a strong enough team to field? It's just crazy. I just can't understand how you can spend £130 million and not improve the squad. I just don't see how that's even possible.
Chelsea bought,
bizarre.
Chelsea bought one player, Lukaku, 97.5 million. They bought one player, guys. No. That says it all. You know what I mean? At least when they have that one player on the field, he's not a backup player. He's going to play in that position. First team. He's a first team player. He's going to make such an impact, guys. Yesterday is just the beginning. Chelsea are going for the title. This is a championship winning team. They're going for the title. Champions League, small fry to them. Tuchel wants the Premiership. They're going for the title. It's a clear message of intent. They both are the greatest striker in world football. They paid the money. They got the player. He's straight to the team. Does Arteta realise There's no time to waste. There is no tomorrow. It's now or never. I mean, guys, there is no tomorrow. It's now or never.
That's why I think that Stan Kroenke is such a problem, because he's got no idea what he's talking about. He's completely he's another one who's completely clueless. He's got no idea about football and he doesn't care. And he even went on record saying that he didn't buy the club to win trophies. What the hell did you buy it for then? If you didn't buy it to win trophies, it's all about this, mate.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, it's like a toy, and
it's not right to be doing that, man.
He hasn't got a clue. So if Mikel Arteta goes up to him, or Vinay goes up to him and says to him, "Oh yeah, don't worry, it's fine. Mikel knows what he's doing, and this and that, and all the rest of it. It'll be fine." He's going to believe them. He's not going to listen to the likes of me and you. He's going to listen to these people that he's got working for him.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And not unless it becomes blatantly obvious to him. The only hope I've got is when I compare what's going on now and the fag end of Arsene Wenger's reign at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because it's very similar, right? Suddenly, out of the blue, Josh Kroenke set himself up in London for a couple of months, right? And there was loads of empty seats at the stadium when he went to the games. And then he ended up sacking Wenger, right? Now, he was at the game yesterday, and I heard Kenny Ken, because Kenny Ken went to the game yesterday, and I heard him on his fan cam kicking off about the match and saying that Arteta had to go and it was disgraceful and blah, blah, blah. But one of the things he said was that at the end, in the East Stand, there was loads and loads and loads of empty seats. But they didn't show that on the TV. And that's probably why, because they didn't want the general populace to be able to see that. But if Josh Kroenke saw that, I can guarantee you he's going to relay that message. And I don't think that Arteta's got long. I really don't. I can't see him being here. He's got how many more games is it till we play Tottenham? I think it's about 3 or 4. We got Man City, then we got Norwich and Burnley, I think.
Yeah.
And then we got Spurs, I think, after that. So if we have a really poor run of results, say we lose to West Brom, we get a draw with Norwich, because I think that game against Norwich is at home, and we lose to Burnley because that's away, I think, and then we lose to Spurs. I just can't see how he's going to hold on to his job. I mean, for me, he should be gone. He should have been gone today. But I wouldn't have given him the job in the first place.
And you're 100% right about that, by the way. What you're saying are the fixtures. It's West Brom, then in the league, it's City, Norwich, Burnley, and Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right what you're saying. After that, we face Brighton. Ben White will have an interesting time. I honestly think Brighton will beat us. They're playing well.
Yeah, I think they will. Brighton
are playing good.
Yeah. They look good at the weekend, and I think we might struggle against Norwich. I've watched them play Liverpool, right? And they were good for the first 15, 20 minutes, and then they faded. And I spoke to my mate who is a Norwich fan, and I said to him, I just think you did really well for that first 20 minutes, but after that you faded. And he goes, yeah, it's because our pre-season got interrupted by COVID.
Yeah.
And we lost a lot of players and stuff like that due to that. So I think if they get their players fit and ready for that game against us, we're gonna have a difficult time with them. I really do. I think we'll find it hard because when they played Liverpool, like I say, that first 15, 20 minutes, they played well. So if they play like that against us, I think we're going to struggle with them. No, mate, I know I said it to you earlier, but I'm going to say it again. I just can't see where we're going to score a goal from. We just look like we're incapable of setting up a team that's going to create chances and score goals. I just can't see how it's going to happen. So, I don't know, man. And it looks like he's froze again. Bless him. You there, buddy? And he's gone. He's gone again. And it's me. I'm back again. I'm on my own. I'm here on my own again. Anyway, so yeah. What is the solution to all this? It's all right, us like sitting here kicking off, but what about some solutions? Well, if he's not going to sack, Kroenke's not going to sack Mikel Arteta. He needs to have someone in the hierarchy of the club between him and all these other clowns who know something about football and knows what they're doing. And if for me, I'd point David O'Leary. You all right, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. I was just
There was a
saying
bit of
about
interference in the background. I'm good.
I was just saying about what can we do to sort of turn this ship round, really. And I was saying if he doesn't sack Arteta, he needs to have someone above Arteta who knows something about football, knows what they're doing, who understands the game. And for me, I'd put David O'Leary in there.
David O'Leary.
Yeah, because he knows the
club. A good Irish man.
Yeah, and not only that, mate, he works for the club already. He's like as an ambassador.
Yeah.
When we played that game against Real Madrid's Legends, he was there. I think he was managing the Legends team. He would be perfect for it because he knows the club. He knows about football. He's obviously got a wide network of contacts. And if Arteta comes to him with all this bullshit about, this and that, and coming with all these excuses, he won't be able to pull the wool over Arteta's eyes like Arteta is obviously doing with Stan Kroenke. Do you know what I mean? And that's what he needs. But whether he's going to be prepared to do that, I really don't know.
David O'Leary is a level-headed individual. He's very level-headed. Like most Irishmen, he can take a bit of criticism, but he can give it back. But he's not an ignorant individual. He's not like Arteta. At least David O'Leary can take on board a bit of criticism. David O'Leary is a modest enough kind of guy. You know what I mean? And he's more in touch than Arteta. One thing I find strange, and I just said I thought when you were talking there, the Kroenkes came over from the United. They had a plan to buy Arsenal. The United States, the Football League, it's not as good as the Premier League. It's not as good as leagues in Europe. But there's no football coaches in the US that Kroenke had an eye on. He could bring in his own man. He could bring in a football coach from America. I mean, they must have some decent coaches out there. Why Arteta? They have their football league. Kroenke obviously is not in touch with football at all because he didn't know any manager in the whole United States that could manage Arsenal. He had no contacts. He didn't know anyone from LA Galaxy to, you know what I mean, to San Francisco Sounders to Cleveland. He had no contacts anywhere. No manager.
He doesn't know. No? He's got no interest in football, mate. That's the thing.
Why the hell did he play the club?
If it was American football, it might be a different story.
Sick.
But it isn't. It's football. You know, it's European football. It's not American football. You know.
Why the hell did he buy the club then?
Listen,
Yes.
right? If
Oh,
by some miracle he does sack Arteta, because I'm not convinced he's going to, but
he's backing Arteta.
yeah, I'm not sure he will, but I'm hoping he's going to, and I'm hoping the latest it will happen is that after that game against Spurs. Who do you think they're going to put in charge? Because I've got a nasty feeling. I think I know what's going to happen, but I'll tell you in a minute because I want to know what you think.
Xhaka, player manager, Xhaka.
No, not Xhaka, but I nearly as bad. But who do you think they'll put in charge? Who do you think they'll give the job to? Huh?
Edu.
No.
Who?
I think that this is my mad theory.
Here we go. I can't wait to hear this.
I reckon that Per Mertesacker will get it.
No.
I do.
We jump out of the frying pan. We jump out of the frying pan and into the fire. Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Look how red I'm gone. Look how red I am here, guys.
He's going to be a yes man, right? He will. He's been working for the club for a few years now. He's been working with the youngsters at the club.
Yeah.
They've got this massive thing at the moment about Project Youth, about developing the youth. You saw the program about bringing the youth through and stuff like that. Who better than him to have that role?
To screw things up there.
Yeah. God, it terrifies me.
Yeah, he's not a football manager.
No, he's not. He's a youth team
coach.
Not
a football manager. He cared about the club, yeah, a lot more than Mesut Ozil. I remember the bus stop with Ozil. They were talking German to each other and they were telling each other a few home truths. I understood every word, my friend, because I know German very well. But look, Zacher is not a manager, and I say that with respect to the man. You know, he did all right for Arsenal. He cared at least. But he's not a manager. We need a football manager. We need an Ancelotti. We need a football manager, a guy that manages. A manager.
We've got Conte is available. He's not employed. I don't know what Allegri's doing. Is Allegri employed at the moment?
I have no idea.
Because
I just got Arteta on the brain. Arteta.
When Emery got the job, apparently they were talking to him, but they claimed that his English was a problem.
And they gave it to Emery.
And they gave it to Unai.
And his English isn't a problem.
No. But then you got Bielsa, he goes everywhere with his translator. I just don't understand why that is an issue.
When Emery was at Arsenal, he could not speak English. My wife, is a native Spanish speaker, guys. We were looking at it together, and I was telling her, I don't bore her with football, She's more important. But look, she doesn't care about football, guys. But look, we looked at him in the press conference with his translator, and she just shook her head and laughed. Like, you're shouting from the sideline, Xhaka, get tight. Xhaka, try not to make 20 mistakes every second. He's not going to understand that. You know what I mean? Okay, with Bellerin, he can talk the talk. Santi Cazorla, he could talk the talk. But with the language of the team should be one. It should be English. And that's all it was about it. He couldn't even speak English, man. Look what he did at Villarreal when he went back to Spain. He's a good coach, in my opinion. Light years ahead of Mikel Arteta. He's no Thomas Tuchel, but he's light years ahead of Mikel Arteta. We should have kept Unai. Why, at London Colney, why didn't they engage him 1 hour before training or after training, whatever suits? Every time they're training at London Colney, just have his tutor there, his English tutor. Fast track English. Why not? You've got to think outside the box, man. You have to communicate. If you can't communicate, Gareth Southgate and the English team, the lads were in the changing room, they were letting it all go. Italy and their coach. They were in the changing room. They were Communication is important. Communication is important. If it wasn't for that, Unai would probably be in the team. It was a communication problem. The problem with Arteta, Unai Emery had a communication problem. He's a much better manager today. The problem with Arteta is he can speak English fairly well, but he is not a good manager.
And he's not a good communicator either.
He was a crap player.
Really badly.
Crap player, worst manager, Everton player. You know what I mean? With respect to Everton, he was an Everton player, not an Arsenal player.
Yeah, he's an Everton legend. He's certainly not an Arsenal legend.
Yeah, and it's not that he's not good enough to play for Arsenal. That's why he's at Everton. But he was an Everton player. He took an Everton player into our squad, not a good player, and then they give him the manager's position. It's a recipe for disaster. I don't know that anybody speak out at the time. I don't know that any former players speak out. I don't know, did you see yesterday, Thierry Henry had a little something to say. He said, if the badge is too heavy, leave. That's what Thierry Henry said. His performances from our team, man. Henry's performances from our team. It's not all about ability, guys. He had guile, he had perseverance, he had discipline, and he knew when things were going well. And he knew how to play football, guys. He knew where to stay when we had the ball. He was always looking for the ball through. He was always looking for that pass. He was always looking to pick up the ball and go on a run, like against Spurs, like against Liverpool. Some of his goals, guys, were some of his performances, Champions League. Guys. It's the mentality. It's not just the ability of the player. And we have no one out there that actually has that will to win, that cutting edge, do or die. Am I going too far here? I mean, what, we're just going to go and take part? Are we going to go and take part? Yesterday we took part in the game. We weren't competitive. From the first minute to the last, we weren't competitive. We're just going to go up from now on, is it? I just take part. I'm telling you, Warren, there's a real here. It's a real possibility. When are we going to score a goal? Just bang one in the net? No, man.
We don't look like scoring at all. And we don't.
Everything you wouldn't want is put in the team. Everything you wouldn't want.
We just don't. I can't see, with the way that we're playing, the tactics that we're employing, that we're going to be able to create a chance to score a goal, because it's too slow and pedestrian, and we're not making it difficult for the opposition. We're not closing them down. We're not harassing them. Right?
There's no pressure on the ball. No pressure on the ball.
I remember that year when we played Barcelona the first time at the Emirates. And in the first half, they absolutely battered us. We were struggling to get out of our own penalty area.
Messi,
and I heard how good they were technically with the ball, right? And
possession football.
I was astonished. The reason I was astonished was about how good defensively they were, right? Because as soon as we got possession of the ball, there were 3 or 4 players around us, right? They were pressing us unbelievably, so we couldn't get out, right? So as soon as we got possession of the ball, we won it off them. They were able then to quickly win it back and start building another attack from the very maximum outside of our penalty area and open us up. And if it hadn't have been for Manuel Almunia that night, they would have battered us by 6 or 7 easily. It was absolutely astonishing. And people talk about that team's creativity and their passing and all the rest of it. And it's true, it was really, really good. But what impressed me was their work off the ball. And I'm sorry, but off the ball, we are absolutely shocking. We can't defend. We don't close people down. We don't press people. And this needs to start happening from today. They need to start doing this in training, and they start working on it, and then putting it into action when we start playing games. Because if we don't start doing that, we're going to lose matches. Yes, mate. Back again. Nice to see you, sir.
I had to go to the bathroom, guys. Sorry, I'm tanking the water here. It's like so hot. Look at me. Look how red I am.
No, I was just like going on about how we need to start pressing teams. We need to start suffocating teams, making it difficult for them. Because if we do that, we're going to get back the possession of the ball really quickly. I mean, but when we do get possession of the ball, we need to move it really quickly. None of this sideways, backwards, forwards, sideways, backwards, all the time. And I know you really like Martin Odegaard, but I heard this stat the other day about when he was at Arsenal, he made twice as many passes, and this isn't his fault, this stat, it's Arteta. He made twice as many passes that went backwards as they did going forwards. So that's not him, though. I don't think that's him.
No.
It's because
he's an attacking player. He plays on the front
by Arteta. And all these really good young players that we've got, they're going to get ruined by Arteta.
Mm.
And then you'll hear people saying, oh, he's signing all our young players up to long-term contracts. It's really good, blah, blah, blah. And if he wasn't any good at a coach, they wouldn't want to sign for him and all this nonsense. The reason they're signing up new contracts, one, because we pay really well, and two, they've never been under another coach, so they wouldn't know what it's like at another club. Do you know what I mean? So that nonsense about, they wouldn't sign, so that they're signing up, and it's good because they're signing up because of him. It's absolute nonsense. And I'm just really concerned, mate, because I think we're in serious trouble, and it all starts with him. We need to get him out.
Of course. Yeah, I agree with you, Warren. I think, to be honest, the problem is like the way I see things with Arteta. The fact that you said there about Martin Odegaard, I agree with you completely. Arteta is telling him in training how to play. But the way it seems to me is he burst through. Martin Odegaard tried to break through with the ball. He tried to do something to make it happen. Arteta discourages that because I'm sure he thinks, what if we lose the ball? Then we could get opened up. So there's like these sideways and backward passes, and maybe we can control it and work the position. But that gives the opposition more than enough time to counteract what we're doing when we have the ball. Whereas if Odegaard tries to burst through, tries to take on a player, we have a much better chance. You're going to win more games than you're going to lose playing like that. That's how all the teams play. That's how Brentford played against us. That's how Chelsea played against us. We might not have the players in midfield to lock down the midfield like we did before. I mean, the ability of Vieira and Petit in midfield allowed Overmars to go forward, allowed Bergkamp to go forward, allowed Parlour to go forward, because we had two giants in the midfield that when we lost possession, they were so competitive. I mean, they were giving Roy Keane a game every day of the week. He had his hands full with them. So I think Arteta's thinking like that, but it makes no sense because when we play those backward sideways passes like Odegaard did a lot, the opposition have so much time to rearrange and get back in position. And suddenly we're facing 2 backs to 4.
This
Can't
is
break
what
a
happened
format.
against Brentford. When we played Brentford, we had all this sideways, backwards nonsense. And it was so slow and ponderous that by the time we looked like we were ready to launch an attack, Brentford had 10, 11 men behind the ball, which meant it was impossible for us to do.
And they picked us off, man. They won the possession then. They won the possession back, and they didn't play the ball sideways. They played it forward.
No, bang, bang, bang.
They hit the ball forward. They hit the ball right up to the penalty box. They got right up on the edge of the area. You know what I mean? The goal they scored for.
I've just had a notification coming up on my phone saying that Arsenal are willing to listen to offers for Aubameyang.
Is that the answer? I mean, that's maybe if he wants to leave, but is that what we need right now? To lose him? We have no other striker lined up. We need to buy a player first before we can let him go. In his case. Xhaka, we can leave him go anytime. We can discuss it over breakfast and just send him away. But Aubameyang, we need a player to be in there. We can't sell him unless we buy someone. We need to buy someone first to replace. You know what I mean? Who's going to play forward for us then?
Exactly.
Lacazette? Man, I swear to God.
Man.
What about Biret? Biret in the under-23s. The player that came from Fulham. Was it 21 goals in 21 games? You're telling me he doesn't know where the goal is? He knows where the goal is. Goal is the same size. He knows and the ball is the same size. He knows where the goal is. Let him shoot on target. And what is up with Martinelli? Is Martinelli having a crisis of confidence? Okay, yesterday was Chelsea. Look, they're arguably the best team in the world right now. Them in City. But look, he was up against Chelsea, but he still wasn't collecting the ball and looking dangerous. You remember Nicolas Anelka when he came to the club? Ian Wright, I don't think he ever scored for Arsenal against United before Anelka came. When Anelka came, he was beating Schmeichel every time he played against him. Smashing it in. Near post, far post, whatever. Anelka was just thundering the ball past Schmeichel. What is with Martinelli? Okay, the team we had then, okay, fair enough. You know, we were overpowering teams. They just couldn't handle the movement. The movement was too much. We were tearing teams apart. But Martinelli, he has to do more. Not just him, but he needs to put in a shift. He does, Warren. He didn't do anything, man. He didn't do anything. He didn't do enough. It is Chelsea, but he knew before the game who he was facing. If you can't get turned, if you can't find the space, do a Lukaku on it. Hold the ball up and lay it off for other players that are onrushing. But the problem is, there are no players running off the ball for him. There are no runners off the ball. Chelsea commit to the forwards. They have players running off the ball. When Lukaku got it, he had players making moves. He could feed the ball through, like Reece James. He wasn't the only one. Havertz. They weren't the only couple of guys. They were all doing it. They were switching and switching and switching and switching. We didn't know where the check was going to come from in the end. Lukaku got the ball, but Lukaku was spraying the ball wide. He was doing what he wanted in there.
We were making it easy for them, mate. We were making it easy for them because we weren't harassing them. We weren't closing them down. We weren't pressing them. It was easy work, mate. And we were making it easy work because our tactics all over the top. We haven't got any tactics. He's been here 20 months and he still doesn't know what his best starting 11 is.
And
he's got no idea about what tactics he's going to play. You see him yesterday, he was sitting there with his head in his hands going like this. That shows to me that he's out of his depth and he doesn't know what he's doing.
And what about on the training ground?
Huh?
What about on the training ground? We brought in this defensive coach The defense was all over the place.
I know. It's
We
shocking.
have this defensive coach. What are they doing? The defense was... Chelsea are a known commodity. They're not a surprise package like Brentford were. We knew what Chelsea have in their locker. They came off the back of winning the goddamn Champions League. They beat City in the final. And we're going to go out there and play like that. That's not enough to win. That's not even enough to... There was no threat up front. There was no poise in the midfield. There was nobody working, running off the ball. Drag them, stretch them, move the ball wide. Try to move them out of position. There was two backs of four, man. And they just... And when they got it forward to Lukaku, he was menacing. But like I said, Mari should have tried to step out in front of him, man. Man to man, man marking.
The only thing is... Yeah, the only thing I'd say...
Mari is a big man.
The only thing I'd say about our midfield is that you've got Granit Xhaka playing there. And that young lad, Lokonga. Now, he looks half decent.
Lokonga came out of the game with a bit of credit.
Yeah. But Granit Xhaka, Jesus, he's supposed to be the senior member of the squad. He's supposed to be the captain. He's supposed to be leading by example. He was shocking. Absolutely shocking. Do you know what I mean?
How does he look in the mirror, man?
Right.
How does he look at himself in the mirror? How does he go home at night and look at his wife? No. She must look at him like, man, I mean, grow up here. You know what I mean? She probably stays at home all night wishing she had a real man every night of the week. She's probably at home wishing she had a Roy Keane. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm going to keep it clean now, guys, but she's probably wishing she had a Roy Keane. A guy that's going to drive her through the headboard and a guy that's going to perform on the pitch. You know what I mean? She's probably thinking like that. She's probably, in respects now, I'm not going to go any further than that, but she's probably thinking like that. And just so you know, I'm always marked this video not suitable for kids. Anyway, listen, we should start doing like troops. We should like promote like Heineken. Yeah, like troops. We should promote Heineken during our podcasts. See troops with Barstool Sports. They have to promote Heineken. It's smooth flavor. Oh, perfect.
Is that what he does? He streams. Does he like start promoting things?
Heineken are sponsoring his podcast.
Okay.
So all they drink is Heineken, and they have to do like, I think maybe 5 or 6 minutes of the promotion at the start. Watch it the next time, you'll have a laugh off it.
No, I will
smooth. He's like this then. The smooth flavor of Heineken, the hops and the barley. I'm like, what is he talking about? And then he gets into it. But he's a cool guy. Big up troops. He tells it like it is. He's an Arsenal fan through and through, you know. I like troops. He tells it straight. And he's not looking for viewers and subscribers. He's actually talking like a fan. Look in his eyes, man.
I like that post-match thing that he did yesterday, the review of the match. It
was explosive.
Yeah, it is. It's no hard bars. He doesn't hold anything back. He just
tells it like it is.
Out.
Man, and what now for us? Warren?
Right.
Do you think we're going to beat West Brom?
No. No, I can't see it. I think we might get a draw. But I just don't know where the goals are going to come from. And the thing is, they're playing well.
They're playing well.
They're playing well. And I still say that if they'd appointed Big Sam earlier, he would have got them out of trouble.
Yeah.
You know, because they had some good results. They smashed up Chelsea. Don't forget.
They were. I couldn't believe that result. I was looking. I had to look twice to see the score.
They smashed them 5 at Stamford Bridge. And like I said to you before, I think I said this to you before, that last season when we were down near the bottom, I was calling for Big Sam. I wanted him. Because I knew, because of his track record, I knew he had this track record of getting people out of trouble. So that's why I wanted him. So, yeah, I mean, where do we go from here? I don't think we'll beat West Brom. I can't see us beating Man City, obviously. We then got Norwich. I'm not sure whether, I think it's at home, but I'm not sure. I think we're going to struggle to beat them. We might manage to beat them, but it's not going to be easy. Then we got Burnley away. That's going to be a really hard game because you know what they're like. That's going to be a real physical battle, and this team ain't up for a physical battle. And then we've got Spurs. And, that's the Spurs game. That's always an absolute nightmare. I hate playing Spurs. I really do. I just can't bear it. So, I don't know, man. I think we need to get rid of him. We need a new coach, manager, whatever you want to call it. But Kroenke needs to appoint someone high up who knows about football and cares about the club. That's why I want David O'Leary in there.
Exactly, yeah. David O'Leary would be a good option. He's got experience.
He's got the knowledge about the club. He knows the culture of the club. He cares about the club. And he's not going to put up with any bullshit.
And he's going to take criticism on board. If somebody tells him, David, why the hell, man, are you sticking playing a 4-3-3 or whatever? It's just an example. He's going to take it on board. He's not going to dismiss it out of hand with petulance like Mikel Arteta. He dismisses things out of hand.
Yeah, because he's arrogant.
And then he's arrogant. He's insolent. And then he's on the pitch, like you said, with his head in his hands, wondering where it all went wrong. If that is the definition of insanity. You do the same thing over and over and over again, and you expect a different result.
He's doing this, and he's gaslighting. I'm telling you, that thing I sent you yesterday about him gaslighting.
Yeah,
that is exactly what he's doing.
Classic Arteta, man.
To protect himself.
He
knows that he's on a really tricky wicket. I'm sure of it. And he's getting more and more desperate.
We are going to get stuffed against Manchester City. And believe it or not, guys, Spurs are going to do us. They're going to beat us. But to be honest, I don't mind that we lose to Spurs. I don't mind that we lose to Chelsea. I'm not upset because we lost to Spurs. Oh, please, God, if we win one game this season, let it be against Spurs. I'm looking at the bigger picture. I want the team to improve. I'm not hung up on Spurs game. Wow, old school gunner. You must be devastated because you lost to Spurs. No. I want to see the team improve, Warren. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of the game against Spurs. I know they're going to beat us anyway. So what's the point of being worried about it? But we have bigger fish to fry. We need the team to be improving. And we need a better manager. I'm not worried about the Spurs game and, oh my God, I can't put my head up high now. Oh, if I know some Spurs fans. Of course not. I am a grown man. I want to see the team improve. I'm not concerned if we lose to Tottenham or if we lose to Chelsea. It's a loss. I'm concerned about the loss, but the opposition makes no difference.
3 points is 3 points.
We lost. I mean to say, what they're doing on the training ground, they're out there now. What are they doing? Arteta is listless. He doesn't have a clue what's going on around him. All right, Warren, let's get into the team. Let's get into the ratings, the player ratings.
Okay, come on then, let's do it.
I don't know who did the player ratings that I'm looking at. I've just got it going on here. I don't know who did those player ratings, but
hello, mate. You there?
Yeah, Milan.
Are you there, buddy?
Yeah. There no is. That doesn't work. Let's try again.
Yeah, I think you're frozen, mate, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like Old School has frozen, unfortunately. So this is going to be interesting. These player ratings got. It's not going to be. It's not going to be a pretty story, that's for sure. Oh, I think he's coming back. Is he coming back? Got the old circle going round and round. It's a bit like a washing machine, isn't it? It's going round and round and round.
I'm back.
You're
back
back?
again. Back for more misery. All right.
Oh dear.
I'm not normally this red, guys. It's a little bit warm over here. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. We're going to the player ratings, guys. We're going to break a few hearts, but we're going to do troops on it. We're going to tell people what they already know. Arsenal player ratings. Okay, Warren. Bernd Leno.
But Leno, I'm going to give him, I think, a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was our best player. But yeah, I've got a bit of a question mark about him for the first goal, but only a little one. There were far more. There were other players who were far more culpable than what he was. That's for sure. But yeah, I'd say about a 5. But the rest of it's going to be a horror show.
Yeah. Respect, like I said, just another word for Bernd Leno yesterday, guys. He kept us in the game.
You're absolutely right what you said. He saved us from a hammering.
He saved us from getting absolutely annihilated, guys. We were there for the taking. We were on our knees. We were down for the count. Arteta, of course, was, I don't know what he was doing, probably texting that handboy Bellerina. He's probably texting Willian. Gonna come over later for a fucking, I don't know what.
Exactly. You better not go into that, mate.
I'm not going to get into that, guys, because I'm going to try to keep it PG. I'm suppressing my instincts as an Irishman to behave respectfully. Okay. Cedric Suarez.
Three. And that's being generous.
Cedric Suarez? Sorry, it cut out there.
No, I said
I got cut off.
Yeah. I said
Cedric Suarez is 3.
Generous.
Yeah. Alonso and Havertz down the left, guys, absolutely murdered him. He got completely exposed coming again. Rob Holding, your favorite player.
1.
A generous 1, yeah.
Yeah, that's because of the header that he put in and it went past the post. Other than that, it would have been a 0.
Yeah. Lukaku ran him all over the shop. Pablo Mari.
0.
Get back into Europe.
Huh?
Don't forget, guys, we need to get back into Europe this season. We need to finish in the top 6. We're out of Europe for the first time in 20 seasons. It's the worst Arsenal team in 25 years. Am I right or am I wrong? We need to get back into Europe. We're going to get back into Europe.
I'd say more like 120 years, but still, never mind. I'll go with that.
Bring back Torreira and drop. What do you do? Drop Granit Xhaka. Bring back Torreira. I'm just going off on one now, guys. But we need to get back in. I just woke up. We need to get back in Europe this season, guys. We're out of Europe. You want to get some good players to come to the club. They want European football, guys. It's not wages. It's a part of the deal. They want to be playing in Europe at the highest level. We're going to get into it like that. And what about Granit Xhaka, guys? My God, like I said, team talk before the game, did nothing in the game. Absolutely zero. Did nothing. We got slaughtered. Then, he's playing in the midfield, guys. It's a vital area. Then, what do they do then? We're rewarding, how do I put it? He was rewarded with a new contract. We're rewarding failure. That's what we're doing at the club. You gave that man a new contract. They never wanted to sell in the first place. Don't tell me, all right, guys, I'm talking to everyone now. I'm not talking to Warren. Don't tell me for a second that really wanted to sell him. They didn't have an interest in selling him. And all this big story about AS Roma and Jose Mourinho. Roma said themselves that the deal was dead in the water a month ago. And Arsenal kept feeding it to the press. Well, we tried to sell him, but we couldn't sell him. And then they give him a new contract. Let him wind down the last year of his contract and send him packing. No. They're rewarding failure, mediocrity, average players. What is wrong with them? Does that make sense to you, Warren? I'm going off on one, no, man. But
it doesn't make sense to me. I just don't get it.
It's not about Xhaka. It's Arteta is doing it.
It's shocking. It really is. I don't understand why they're doing it. No other top team would take him.
Mm.
When all that talk was going around about how we wanted to sell him, I didn't see any other top team in Europe coming in to try and take him off our hands.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas Bayern Munich didn't come, Barcelona didn't come, Real Madrid didn't come, Man City didn't come, PSG didn't come. That just tells you all you need to know. He's not a good player.
Mm.
If
no one came in for him, yeah, no one was interested.
All right, if you have a good player, then when the rumour gets out that there's a sniff that they might become available, top teams start coming sniffing around.
Mm.
Right? Before Kieran Tierney signed his long-term contract, Man City was sniffing around. Right? Roma apparently offered £80-odd million for him. Do you know, if we're not careful, we're going to lose that lad. I'm telling you. The only reason we might not is because of the fact he keeps getting injured, and people might thinking, yeah, he's a good player, but he's a bit injury prone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that would be the other thing that might hold him back in a move on.
Mm.
But otherwise, I think we're going to struggle. We could struggle to hold on to the lad. But
yeah, as if we don't have enough problems, Our league form is just going to be this season. Like, you remember the Invincibles? It's the opposite of that. We're going to have the best league season, the best team to have the league season, and now we're going to have the worst. It's going to be the worst league season by Arsenal. We had the best. Yeah, Arteta wants to break records. He's all up for it. He's no use saying goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, another one at the weekend. Worst start to a season in 118 years.
I think we're heading into the first division. I think we're heading into the championship.
Yeah,
we'll never come out if we go down, man. We'll never come out. Never. I'm just going to say there, Kieran Tierney.
Kieran Tierney, yeah, I'm giving him a 4.
Okay, I gave him a 5. Yeah, I think 4 or 5 is fair.
But he didn't play particularly well. Yeah, and then he got injured, bless him. But But I just think the problem was that he was trying to cover too many other positions because he could see that we were getting battered in the defence. The midfield wasn't doing its job. So, he was trying to like shore things up and he got overrun. So, it's a bit of a worry, really.
Yeah, it is. And he like you said earlier, he was drawn in centrally. He had to cover different positions, and he just got steamrollered by Reece James. It was exactly in that position is where we got opened up. Albert Sambi Lakonga.
5.
I gave him a 5 too. I think that's fair. Yeah, I gave him a 5. It was a solid enough display. He had some nice touches in the ball. He couldn't quite get the key passes into the players, but he was definitely head and shoulders above Granit Xhaka. It was like night and day. It was like night and day.
I'd completely agree with everything you said, mate. I really would. I was impressed with him, but he's very young, and yeah. So
okay,
he keeps going.
Our best friend, I'll just call him Granit.
Mr. Granit.
He was far from Granit yesterday, guys. He was far from Granit yesterday.
Yeah.
He was like butter. 0 for Granit Xhaka, guys.
0. What did he do? He's supposed to be a defensive midfielder, and they were running through our midfield with gay abandon. They were just like, it was like open season.
It was like Limerick against Cork. They got hammered. You know what I mean? It was just like Limerick against Cork.
I'd like you to bring that one up.
So,
yeah, my mate Pat was just kept sending me comments about that all through the game. Limerick this, Limerick that.
They scored a record in the final. That's the highest score that any team has ever registered in a final.
Oh, there you go.
They scored 3 goals and 32 points. So that is 41 points. It's the highest points total in a final ever in like 100 years.
Oh my God.
The highest points total. What Cork scored would normally be enough to win every final, but not this one.
Jesus. Oh my God.
I just did this. This is what I did.
Exactly, mate. I don't blame you.
I know. Yeah, it's just a door slamming. I think that's the ghost of Arsenal's chances going out the window. Anyway, that's
mate. Yeah,
that was leaving the building. Yeah.
So who are on to you now, mate?
Nicolas Pepe.
I'm struggling to think what impact he had. But then again, I don't think it was necessarily his fault because we've got no attacking tactics.
Impetus, there's no impetus. There's no
to defend, and it's too slow going forward. So 2. But I gave
him a 3. I think a 2. Yeah. I think a 3. I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair enough. 3.
But like you said, he's playing in a system, but he never got Chelsea onto the back foot. Yeah. He never got them running back towards the goal. He never got them turned. They were always facing out when he had the ball in possession. He couldn't unsettle them. They were positionally strong, and he just couldn't break through. The only way you can do something about that, man, is if you just take a crack shot. But you need to be like Ronald Koeman. You remember Ronald Koeman back in the day?
Yeah, I do.
If you're a player like Koeman, if you get a free, he used to put it into the top corner. The goalie would just be standing there. If you can get a free, if you can win a free, you can really crack them in. But no, dead ball.
We're not set up in a way that's going to enable him to like go forward in an attacking way. All we're set up to do is defend and not concede, and we're never going to score. We're never going to like create chances or score goals playing like that. We're not. You know, we had no idea tactically about what to do going forward. So that's what I'm saying to you.
Physically unprepared, mentally unprepared.
Yeah.
We knew what lay ahead of us before the game. We knew the challenge we faced.
Mm.
Also, the team spirit. I'm not going to pick out individuals, but the team spirit in general, the players aren't fighting for each other. We faced a better team yesterday, even if we had all those first-team players that were missing because of COVID or what have you, or because of injury. But like I keep saying, up here has a lot to do with it, man. And your approach before the game. I mean, there was nobody fired up. There was nobody well up for it. And the fighting spirit was non-existent.
Yeah.
Right. Go
How many times?
Smith Rowe.
Yeah. How many times did you see someone shaking their fist or trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, I'm getting this team back into this match? Because I didn't see it once. But it might be because they've fed up with him. They're fed up with Arteta, and they don't think he's the man. It wouldn't surprise me. So you're Emil Smith Rowe, yeah? Hello, mate. Are you there? Oh, he's back. Did you say
just about
Emil Smith Rowe? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Did you ask me about Emil Smith Rowe?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to give him a 4.
Yeah, I gave him 5. Yeah, I think it's fair. 4 or 5.
Yeah, because he kept trying. He kept trying to make things happen, but he's not going to be able to do it when we're tactically inept going forward.
Mm.
He's not.
Yeah, of course. Mm.
You know.
All right, it keeps freezing. I'm going to move it on there because Bukayo Saka.
3. I don't think he's fit. I don't think he's fit. I don't think he's got his fitness back yet.
Hello,
mate. I said 3.
Okay, for Saka.
Yeah, I don't think he's fit. I think his match fitness is really low.
Yeah.
So
I'd agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
For Aubameyang.
Aubameyang. Two.
Yeah, a generous 2.
Yeah, a generous 2. And Martinelli. Same. 2 for Martinelli as well.
Poor Martinelli, yeah. I mean, Martinelli.
Anyone would struggle to perform as a forward in that team. Yeah. They would, because it's like it's a poison chalice.
Yeah. I feel sorry for Martinelli. We don't play him enough.
Mm.
And then when the team is in crisis, Arteta plays him and puts all the pressure on his young shoulders.
Mm.
And the inevitable happens. He doesn't perform.
Mm.
So we don't play him enough. But then when the team is in a really bad situation, they put on Martinelli. And then it looks like he's going to take the blame. Martinelli's performance wasn't enough. I feel it's for Martinelli. Because yesterday he was up against it. We were talking about. This is Chelsea Football Club. All right, I'm going to leave it there, guys, because the Wi-Fi is driving me crazy.
It's you.
Okay. I'm just knocking ahead now. I would like to thank the internet's driving me crazy, guys. I would like to thank Warren for coming on. Check out his channel, guys. Warren's Team Talk. Have a look at it, guys. He has a very good YouTube channel. Smash the like for Warren. Smash subscribe. Also myself, guys. If you want to subscribe. If you don't. I have 1,100 subscribers, guys. I'm sitting pretty at the top of the tree. You know what I mean? Not to be confident or arrogant like Mikel Arteta, but you know, guys, I've got 1,100 subscribers. Subscribe if you want. If you don't subscribe. Respect to all the Arsenal fans out there, guys, whether they're Arteta in or Arteta out. We should all be standing together at this moment. One club, guys, one love. You know what I mean? Whether you're Arteta in or Arteta out, you have my respect, because this is a tough time for Arsenal fans, for everybody connected to the club. We have a guy managing the club, guys, that has no business being at our club whatsoever. He needs to go. I am 110% Arteta out. Myself and Warren, guys, we have a little bit of a laugh and a joke when we come on here. But trust me, guys, you meet us in person, we're different. You wouldn't see me laughing about what's going on at the club, I'm telling you. Look at my face. Do I look like I'm enjoying it? I've been around, guys. I've seen a lot of football. I've seen a lot of seasons. Not as much as the man here,
it's
guys,
painful,
next to me.
Guys. It really
It's
is.
painful.
It really.
You know what I mean? We are men, yeah? Myself and Warren, we're men. We're not 19-year-olds. If it wasn't for that, we would be a lot more frustrated. I know a lot of young Arsenal fans, they've had enough because they've just known bad times. Guys that are 19 and 20, we haven't won the league in 17 seasons. So they don't know what it's like to win the league. They don't know what it's like to experience it. Myself and Warren, we do. That's the difference. So we can take the rough with the smooth. And now it's very rough. But I feel sorry for the young gunners out there. The young Gooners, the young Arsenal fans. Because they haven't had any success to talk about. Not really, guys. Not in the Premier League. Not in Europe. FA Cup. FA Cup. Yeah, cool. Cool. It looks good, yeah? But, listen, I'm going to leave it there. I want to thank Warren for coming along. Big up himself. Check out his channel, guys. Warren's Team Talk. Do yourselves a favor. Thank you for coming along, Warren. I appreciate it. Smash that like, guys. Smash that subscribe. And see you next time. Come on, you Gooners. Thank you, Warren. Take care of yourself, my friend.